Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. I'm back with my friend Mitch from Kelly & Son, the Crazy Painters. By the time this video is coming out, it will have been not only seen at SEMA, it will have been seen for the first time by the owner of the vehicle. And if you don't know who the legendary Eli Tomac is, go check it out, because he's done a few things in the Supercross world. By now, Eli will have seen this, and from what I've seen so far, I gotta say, I know he's probably thrilled to death with this truck. So let's do like we usually do, man, and jump into it. What year?
58 Apache. John Tomac brought Eli home from the hospital when he was a baby in this thing some 30 years ago. So it's been on their farm for 30 years, and I believe sitting outside, because it was full of those little mud bugs all in the inside of it. The thing was completely rusted. There were giant holes in the back of the cab where you could put a volleyball through. That's how big these holes were. So this thing had seen a lot of
Total
damage.
basket case.
A lot of damage. Yeah. PPG was the one that called me. He actually went to a friend of his, Chuck Doolin, Diesel Technologies in Cortez, Colorado, said, I want to put a motor back in this thing. I want to try to drive it patina, kind of leave it, right? So they put a motor in it, an LSX 454. They put a frame underneath it, and they've got a really nice chassis. So then they started talking to PPG and said, hey, can you call Mitch? We'd like to get the thing painted. It showed up, and from there we just started cutting and welding and fixing.
So it's a full rebuild of what he brought you, other than, is it still the same chassis and the same engine?
No, the chassis is a new chassis. JW Garage, they're the chassis builder. Raven Speed Shop in Oklahoma came up and worked with Chuck designing everything. They had JW Garage build the frame, and then Chuck Doolin put the whole thing together underneath. So I got it with a really nice bottom underneath it, and then just the outside was my
So
job
it was
now.
pull the body and correct everything there.
Yes. They tuned it up. This thing's making 480 to the rear wheels.
Nice.
So it's a good couple hundred more horsepower than this thing can handle. It's just gonna spin. I mean, I think it's gonna be a pretty crazy ride.
Yeah.
So basically this is the configuration. I cleaned up the inner fender wells. We did a little cleanup in here. All of this stuff got redone on the outside, the back on the top of the firewall. And then of course underneath the hood all got dialed in. It's making more than that to the rear wheels, man. That motor is 720 horsepower. Chuck said they dynoed it at 480 to the rear wheel.
All right, you guys, so off in the background, Thomas, Mitch's son, is talking to us saying, no way, Dad, you're wrong on the horsepower. There's a claim that it's making over 7 to the crank. So we're gonna go with, it's got some horsepower.
It's got a ton of horsepower for this truck with no weight in it.
I find it interesting, as radically beautiful as this truck is, and we will get to all the exterior stuff that's been done to this, I find it mildly surprising that it's not this beautified engine bay, but at the same time, I kind of dig how simple it is.
Yes.
Like it tells me he might want to actually just go drive this thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he does. I have it set underneath so he can drive it. We even got another set of wheels for him. You know, it gets 15 below or 15 degrees there in Cortez, Colorado, so he's got another set of wheels he can put on it. Whether he drives it in the snow or not, I don't know.
And what does it go to transmission-wise?
It goes to a Tremec 6-speed.
Oh, nice.
He's got 411s on a Ford 9-inch in the back.
Yeah. Wants that low-down grunt, huh?
Yep.
Very cool,
It's got wheelwood brakes on it. We got a nice set of Toyo tires on there. It came with smoothies on it, black set of smoothies, which kind of fit the red truck when it was all patinaed and beat up. But I just love a nice set of wheels, shows the brakes. These are Cheyennes from Raceline, and I think it really made the truck. It's actually Eli's pick. I sent him some choices. I love the wheel. I love what it did for it.
No, I dig it, dude.
Raceline helped us out with a nice set of wheels, and I just think they look great. Just machine finish, black rims, you know, no bling. Try to keep the bling down.
What are the wheel and tire sizes on it?
265, 75, 19, and I got a 315, 20 in the back.
Nice.
315's still super wide. Not a 325, but 315 super
that's
wide.
a big tire,
315, 35 too. EMS. This stuff, when you put them on a hood, the stock hinges, they move all over the place. You can hardly align them. Once we got these things in there, all set, braced up, they just help you. You know where it's got. Now build the metal all around it. Everything on this thing was all metal gap. This is all rod on the side of the hood. That's not stock. That's 1/4 inch rod so that we can get the gap just right, shave it all back to the fender, grind it,
That's
quarter inch on both sides to make up all the difference. So that's
Yeah.
how much I added to bring it back so we have a nice gap.
Gosh, the metal work is so beautiful on this. I mean, it's
The
so...
58
Because you said it was like all rusted
Oh, it was
out and
gone.
ugly, just
yeah,
awful.
all gone. Hood's original, cab's original, and the bed's original. So the bed on the passenger side was in 3.5 inches. You could just see it, but I didn't measure it until I started straightening it. We had to get some hydraulics and inside and push that bed out to get it flat. Yeah. That fender got hit so hard that the inner fender well, which is quite strong, was caved in 6 inches. We found that after we took it apart. Yeah, this thing has been, well, he's had it 30 years. I'm sure it's been in several accidents, so.
What is this color? Is this a Mitch special?
Oh, no. This is Marina Blue. And Eli's favorite color was on a Corvette. That's what this came on a Corvette. I painted the Marina Blue and I put it on a sample, and I also sent him 4 more blues of Mitch blinged out, you know, a little stomped on a little too much, right? And he kind of said, I was hoping to keep it kind of calm, not bling the thing out. You know, Marina Blue is my favorite. I went, okay, I don't think it's enough. You know, I was like, in my head, I wanted to have more pearl, more pop, all this sort of stuff. So I paint the thing and I'm looking at it, I'm like, kind of like that color. And then everybody commented, boy, that's a really nice color. That really looks good on here. Looks good with the gray. I said, yeah, it's Eli's choice. I think Eli was right.
Damn right.
And the customer comes in and says, I want that. I don't want the color that we had picked out. I want that color on my Nomad.
Isn't that funny?
I mean, it's more than one customer's come in and switched to this color already.
Isn't that funny, man?
Yeah.
And then what's your gray accent color?
I made it. 1980 DBC silver and with a little black and blue in it. You know, you can do all shades of gray. You could do a red gray, a purple gray, a blue gray, a green gray. If you got a green truck, you can put some green in it, make a green gray. You don't see it, but it looks good with the green.
It
Yeah,
helps them
it
tie
helps it.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the stuff you know after how many
That's
years?
the crazy
dude?
part.
40
Yeah,
years?
yes.
40 plus years
Yep,
of painting? Is there any modifications in the front?
We're just tucking, welding, getting everything super tight. All of this was made around these headlights so that these bezels fit in. This is all metal, it's all welded in here. The gap's just set so I can get the headlight bezels in there. You know, you got your Dapper headlights, I think look really good in there. This whole thing was just straightened and cut and everything all brought together. There are seams here that we got rid of and brought it all super tight, pulled the bumper back and tucked it and
Get rid of all the hardware, right? Because wouldn't there be hardware on
Yeah, there's no bumper bolts.
Yeah. This is why, like I said, the mechanical stuff, and I'm sorry, you guys, that I'm not as technical as some of you might be, but you mentioned this like it's such a simple thing, and we made these, like, and then I had lunch. I mean, you just, it's...
No, there's like almost 2 weeks of headlight work there. It's terrible.
See, that's
terrible.
That's my point, though, the way
Yeah.
you mention it, but I know the reality is, because I have enough friends like you guys that build stuff, and I see when they do stuff like this, and I go by a week later, like, oh, you're still working on that.
Yes. Yes.
Right? I love the metal, the paint work, peeking in the lines, right? Like,
Yeah.
so when you see that car, the shadowing it takes on is so much more dramatic. Yeah, that took a whole bunch of hours to do that. It's
did.
not just because we
Yeah.
did a neat paint job on it.
We cut all the bottom rockers on this thing and the door jambs and everything and brought them down and up and moved them so that we have, it's all metal. This thing right here, this gap on a 58, whenever you see a 58, I want everybody to look at the gap underneath the hood. On most of them, you'll find it's tight on one side, fat on this side. It's just the way somehow these things come apart. This is a good gap. That's a sweet gap.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at everybody's 58, judge them by that gap right there. Yeah, so all of this metal was all cut and added and trimmed so that we have that door gap. They come up square right here.
I thought so.
Yes, look, round, that looks good, don't it? That looks right.
Perfect.
Those rockers on both sides, you think any of that stuff winds up? It doesn't, not a one bit of it. So all of that's metal, all that's been cut in and then shaped back so we get that nice gap.
Yeah, the gaps are crazy on this.
All of this stuff in here was all replaced. All this corner cut up to here, that's all new. Everything in here is all brand new. All those plates, all the jam, that's all new metal.
Yeah. When we saw the truck a few days ago, I was curious, is that the fuel filler?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Ah.
Chuck put that in. What I did though was make it fit real bitchin'. And then I put a cover over the top of it so it looks really good. But
Yeah.
it showed up with this thing there. We just did the
It's just a great positioning for it rather than, and I mean, I get it in the bed, that works just fine, right? But
Yeah.
I would think for convenience,
I think it's kind of neat.
I think it's really slick.
And it works. So speaking of the bed, John Tomac would sell mountain bikes. He's a big mountain bike champion. So they had just wood in here with the straps from the crates. So it was just flat straps. So we went ahead and ordered a whole new kit and cut it and fit it all in here. And instead of doing traditional, that oak style, I did more of the sea stain or whatever it is. I forgot.
I don't know what you call it, but that gray touch.
Gray.
The
We put a gray
tone to
stain in it.
I never looked in the bed of the truck. I knew it was wood, right?
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
catch this the other day. I didn't even notice. Like, I mean, obviously you've
yes,
widened
tubbed,
that
yeah,
considerably,
yeah,
but then you cover them in leather.
Well, it's John's idea, my worker. He goes, why don't we cover these in leather? That way if they get dinged or touched or anything like that, it's padded, nothing will happen.
Dude,
You know?
I love that.
So
Seriously.
I set him up here. We can bring the bike in diagonally. He could hook it. There's big hook, big hook, big hook.
That's so bitchin', dude. And I'm
Hey.
noticing for the first time too through the window the
He
gun
wanted his
racks.
gun rack. Yeah, he wanted his gun rack.
Man.
It's Colorado. He's got to have his gun rack. Johnny did a really good job. He put in the inside latches so we don't have all the chains and nastiness. Super clean, right?
It really
Yeah.
is. It's a pretty deep build, but nothing about it lost the Apache.
No. What's missing?
The
Wing window. I hate wing windows.
What would the shape of the wind wing be?
It's pretty much straight.
Got
That's what
it.
kind of trips us out, that the window comes up and goes in. Yeah, Thomas put it all in.
Now I can't wait to look at an original one because
Yeah.
that's a bitchin'.
Yeah.
It's funny, on some cars I actually really dig the wing window.
You wouldn't.
I mean, I get why you would want to get rid of it, based,
Yeah.
especially it just seems like a shape that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
My favorite place on vehicles always, I swear. So the step in and all this metal here on both sides totally replaced.
All replaced, all with the hinge pockets, new hinges. And of course the doors were just done. You know, we could have welded them all up, but they wouldn't have been right in a couple years. They just fall apart again.
Who did this? This is beautiful.
Mark, Mr. Elegance.
I should have known. I can't even believe I asked you, but
Yeah,
like
gotta
that's
be.
it. When
Yeah.
you do an interior, it's Mark, or else
Yeah.
you just wait for Mark.
Call me when it's done. And I got this. I got the brake pad adjusted. We got a quarter inch before it hits the header. So you got all your brakes, and we did that the other day so that brake
Dude,
pedal
the
was super high.
ergonomics are actually really
Not bad,
nice
huh?
in this.
I think it's good for you.
For
Yeah.
such an awkward truck. I mean, stock, you know what I mean? Especially the seat. I mean, because you know how it is with not the extra cab. You always feel crammed in.
Oh,
and you're,
yeah.
and like
I don't
you're
think this is
sitting
that
straight.
bad.
No, this is
You know.
bitchin'. I also like, and I can't wait to see it out in the light, dude.
It's pretty, isn't it?
How he reversed the exterior color of the car with gray accent. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah.
really bitchin'.
That Dakota Digital
That's
is
nice.
so pretty.
And it fits right in the
Isn't it
original
so
spot,
cool?
right? It is.
Yeah.
That's bitchin'.
Custom Sound gave us the one that's all Bluetooth. So kicker speakers in the back, my kicker buddies. We built this whole air conditioner panel down here. This is not stock. So I like to be able to house the air conditioning unit because they didn't come with air conditioners. So
Right, right.
vintage air, super cool looking vents. And I just put that metal all the way across. It actually ties to the glove box. If you hit the glove box, the whole thing goes away.
Dude. Boy, I love how simple you kept it, dude. How you didn't go with a bunch of buttons and switches and stuff lighting up like crazy. I mean,
I think just this
sure,
one.
we can tell this is modern, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, it fits in the spot. And
I
it's
would.
so-
I have to have it. That's just so cool.
And I also like that you went with some nice pedals. It feels like. I mean, the
Chuck
pedals
did
feel
that.
great.
Chuck put the pedals in. Those
Okay.
are wheel wood. I just think he just gets me. Mark does.
I'll say.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have done a lot of work together, and
Yeah.
every, what's this, 4 or 5 vehicles we've shot with you now.
Yeah.
Every time I get in, I ask the same question. Now, I won't ask it
Maybe.
again. I'll just say, hey, Mark, at
Good job
Elegance
on the interior.
Great job.
Yeah, I'll
buddy.
warn you if something happens, but I don't think so. That guy, he doesn't know how to upset anybody.
I know it's about to show. So you guys, you got to remember, by now you've seen it and it's been at SEMA, but right now it hasn't really been out in the world. So we're going to do this much driving just to show that it moves and it works. But
Yeah.
like we can't have a blemish happen.
I think you might even be a better driver than me, even though you ruin alternators, but that's okay. You're right in here.
Twist my arm.
You're there. You're there. Yeah.
We're gonna go drive, you guys. All right, you guys, so we're gonna do a little different flybys. This is a very fresh truck. Obviously, it needs to show up looking perfect to SEMA. So we're gonna do flybys in this little alleyway within this Fullerton Airport that we're at. Light little runs. And Mitch doesn't want to drive with me because he wants to be outside and hear and see the vehicle moving. So I'm gonna do a couple light little passes, but we're still gonna also go drive this thing out on the streets and let people trip out on it. Question for you. So I touched the brake down and it's sticking. Just ride with me real quick. I just want you to see. Now it's coming back up.
Yeah, maybe it just needed to get a little pressure.
Yeah.
I bled them.
Just making sure, that's all, dude. I wanted to make sure it wasn't doing something that was gonna cause trouble when we go out and street drive it. So see how it's hanging up now?
Yeah. It's coming up.
It
That's
is.
weird.
It's coming back up, but it's hanging up.
Stuck. Hey, the brake stick is better not working.
That's for sure. By the way, you guys, in my opinion, this is the world of custom cars. Build it, find little things. And that's a little thing. Like you just said, glad the brakes are working and not working, right? They're just hanging up a little bit. Once again, I love where the clutch is grabbing.
Good. I mean, I worked
It's funny,
on that.
dude, this is one of those trucks where the cockpit of these things is not ergonomically comfortable, and this one's really comfortable.
It's not bad. He needs it to be.
How tall is he?
A little taller than me because I'm looking at him when I'm looking
Okay.
up when I'm talking to him. So,
Boy, I just love how you sit in here. I can't get over these seats.
he did so good, and he knows he needs to do it like that. Like get it back, right? You know,
As far
how
back
about
as you
how
can.
about the gun rack?
The slight little.
Okay, Eli, what kind of gun you putting in here, buddy? 'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing feels really good on the road. I mean, it just started instantly making me smile a bit.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, gosh.
I did it. I did this one too.
You aligned this
Yes.
one, huh?
Yeah. Did I tell you how I do it? I got 2 long pieces of metal. I put it on the disc brake, and I measure the front and the back at the same plates. And if the back's like 58 and a quarter, right? Then the front needs to be 58 and 3/16 or 58 and a 16th or 58 and an 8, somewhere around in there. That's a tiny bit of toe in, that far out there. Okay, they're out there pretty long, and that's what does it perfect. Now I'm probably going to get corrected on this, and it'd be neat to hear the feedback. But you guys out there, let me know if 1/8 of an inch is right. Yeah.
Hey, you guys, feel free to comment away on that one, man. I can tell you this much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, during the interview, you guys, we had to ask a couple questions because there's stuff that Mitch and his son did on this truck, and there's stuff they did not do. So when I asked him exhaust, 3-inch, MagnaFlow, what else was there about the? Oh yeah,
The clutch.
When I was
Yeah.
asking about the clutch, you said it's a McLeod
You
that it's
guessed
running.
it. Yeah, you knew what it was. Ooh, that sounds good.
This thing
Now
sounds.
here's your tunnel.
I know, I got you.
The brakes are wearing in, that's for sure.
It's slightly pulling to the left when I brake,
I think it'll recover after
and the
some more
pedal's
miles.
just slightly hanging up, and then
Yeah.
it's lit. I mean, like that. It's just coming right back off.
Yep, coming off.
Whoa.
You got more antifreeze in that thing, I hope. Yep, you're just burning antifreeze.
So this is 2 now with you, and I know the 57's different from this because the 57, that's you guys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where this one has a handful of people involved. 2 very fresh vehicles, very little miles on them. Both of them, mild little things.
I just went around the corner to make sure it was going to be safe, but I'm super impressed with it too. I love the way it's riding around right now. I think Eli's going to be super happy.
This
Yeah.
feels bitchin' on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, everything in here feels really
That
nice
sounds
to me.
good.
It's another thing I like that you guys, or whomever it was that did the exhaust,
put MagnaFlow in there for me. Yeah, love it.
But there's no drone in here whatsoever.
No.
But then we can still get.
No, I hate that drone. Jeez.
We can still get that sound. You know, it's. But we're not yelling. We're just talking with each other.
No, it's nice.
I mean, you know, dude, I'm barely giving any throttle input. Yeah. But you can tell there's plenty there for this thing to be super fun for Eli to drive and enjoy. Yeah. I mean, guaranteed, you want to spin the tires, non-issue.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't get over the color. I cannot believe this is a stock Chevy Corvette color.
Well, it's not really stock. Somebody with a spray gun sprayed it, and that guy's not too bad. Sorry, bud. It's not completely stock.
I'm just saying that it's...
Somebody held the spray gun. He actually knows what he's doing.
Man, I'm going to give you that all day long. I mean...
Yeah, and I believe it, I went through the PPG class. It's waterborne, and there's a technique to it. At the end, you miss the last coat on, like raindrops, and it comes out real pretty. And you put the clear on, it's got 4 freaking coats, so it looks deep for a reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Boy, this thing, the suspension feels nice. The chassis, it really feels nice. There's a couple of good little pops.
Yeah.
Those little D-cell pops, man, I'm 58 years old and I will never get tired of those sounds. Never.
We're going to go for a ride again in the 57. Maybe we do it at the airport. That could be really cool.
That would be super fun. Wow, thank you so much for letting me drive this. And Eli, by now you and I will have met. Thank you for trusting me to drive your vehicle safely and very chill. You know, I love what Mitch and Thomas, the crazy painters, do. They're, known on one side of the industry for just doing paint. They do all kinds of crazy stuff, trailers and trucks and tow trucks and yada, 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 all this stuff with Kelly and Son. The Crazy Painters is their custom division. And after shooting a few times with them, from the 57 to the Chevelle to the Camaro, these guys are just great people, cool to hang out with. Mitch's enthusiasm is just purely infectious. You can't help but see his enthusiasm and his passion for what he does. And ultimately, Eli ended up with a truck that he's gonna get to put the key in, turn it, and go drive that thing down the road, have a great time, and look like a badass doing it. So, as always, you guys, a big thanks for hanging and watching here, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, man, later.